Hi, I'm Patrick Smith. I'm the digital marketing nomad, and I have been self-employed for over 30 years running different businesses focused on marketing and helping my customers as well as my staff find a way to communicate using the best tools and technology. I was working in the internet back in the early 90s and have been nonstop. So I have this unique combination of skills involving the psychology of sales as well as the ability to use technology to increase your marketing. And today I want to share a little bit of that with you, thanks to Giver Marketing asking me to chat with you. So let's just start out with a little history of where AIs kind of came from and is it new? And the reality is no. You know, lately there's been all this talk about AIs and OpenAI and ChatGPT and everything else, but it's nothing new. I mean, it was the idea of using these cognitive abilities of a human being in a computer date back to the 40s, the 50s. In 1950, the Turing test was performed to determine the intelligence of a computer. Can a computer be as intelligent as a human being? Then we started having rule-based linguistic communication with computers. And then natural language processing became kind of the statistical norm until today. We use chatbots and all different kinds of things to just communicate. I dare you to even call your medical company and try to get through to somebody without talking to a computer that tries to use your voice to direct you in one way or another. So originally we had tape, big old-fashioned tape on computers, and then we typed in things, and then we put in codes, and there's tons of different kind of coding language that we use to communicate with computer. And now the more common thing, the thing that everybody's talking about today, is natural language processing, in that we're using natural language to communicate with a computer. So the question is, what is natural language processing and what are all of these things that are going on? Well, the idea of a chatbot is nothing new. So ChatGPT, even though it's mainstream today, isn't really new. The term chatterbot was originally coined back in 1994 by Michael Malden. So we've been using software applications to mimic human conversation for years and years and years. As I mentioned, just try to talk to your medical insurance company. Now, what is really going on right now is that we're using something called generative artificial intelligence in an AI, so that that AI learns about things that are going on, data sets, things that are going on in the world, and then generates new creations that are similar to the original but don't repeat it. In other words, it's not just repeating what we told it. In other words, in the old days, you would create a script and says, when somebody asks this, tell them that. Excuse me. Today, with generative artificial intelligence, the computer, if you will, the model that you're using to try to determine what you're communicating with, and I'll talk about that in a minute, is actually creating a brand new set of information for you. And that's what's so stunning about what's going on today. So how does all that work? Well, kind of complicated little graph right here, but you can see first we start out by forming a database, and then the person who's inputting information to that database inputs a prompt. They go, okay, I want to know about XYZ. And then the database, the AI, the model, generates content for us. So let me show that to you in a different way. So basically, we train models. The models are databases that are a network of all kinds of information. They're media files, text files, image files, data, sounds, etc. And this is where we get into one of those areas that makes AI controversial, because who inputs the data and what data they input will make a difference on how the AI generates information at the other end. How quote unquote biased are they? And some of the information you may have read, a lot of these companies, including OpenAI, were hiring people in places, just one I know of offhand, it was in Africa, and they would pay these people really low amounts of money to surf the internet and and pull in information, put it into these models, and some of the information that these people had to look at was very disturbing. The people who were actually inputting the information into the models were having kind of PTSD symptoms. It was really, really bad. So the idea is, again, it kind of goes back to what happened when you first had computers. Garbage in, garbage out. You got to be sure what you're putting in and how biased is that information. But the idea is that we train the models, and then we create what are called prompt formulas. And prompts are the things that are used to trigger a response from the model. And that's one of the things I want you to really get a grip on today. For your use of AI, the prompt is the key. The prompt is what is going to make or break what comes out at the other end of your request to the model. Whether you're building an email, a blog post, a web page, an image, whatever you're doing, the more advanced your prompt is, the better response you're going to get. And then once that's done, then we create the content. So, excuse me. So let's take a kind of a quick look about models and ChatGPT. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Okay, big mouthful. So the chat has a generative pre-trained transformer, or model, if you will. So it's pre-trained, and that's the key. There's lots of pre-trained NLPs for AI applications, and here's just some of them. BERT, all different kinds of things. The key is that you can have a pre-trained model or build your own models. And the model will learn the information that was put into it and will write responses or provide you responses based on the kind of questions you ask and the way you respond to those questions. So the models can be trained, okay? Pre-trained models, obviously pre-trained, they've already been pre-trained by other people, but you can train your own. Here's a list of sources that you can look at, and go to OpenAI, platform.openai.com overview, and you'll get a lot more information on pre-trained models. I'll make sure I put this script or this link into the notes. I forgot to do that. So here's an example of a pre-trained model that I wanted to show you, one that I use a lot. And this is I take that back. This is a mixture of pre-trained and a trainable model, okay? So you can link it to OpenAI, and you can use your own API to train it yourself, but a lot of it has been pre-trained through ChatGPT. But AiContentFly, very inexpensive pre-trained model. So let me show you this. So here I'm going to give you a quick overview of how you can use AiContentFly, a fairly inexpensive starter point for using predefined models. And one of the things I like about it is once you've logged in, if you go to this template area, you've got lots of different ideas that you can use to help you create marketing pieces for your business. I believe all of the white ones come with the base version. This is the upgraded version, things in here. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say we want to do a cold email sequence, and this is for giver marketing. And we're going to say, create me. I'm going to pause this for a minute so you don't have to listen to me. Okay, so I created a kind of a basic prompt. Could go into more details in here. I could do it in the form of a certain great email writer, things like that. But what I wrote, create me a cold email. Excuse me, I did that wrong, didn't I? Create me a cold email introduction. I wrote that twice. Good thing I read this stuff again. Create me a cold introduction email to a small business owner using information from giver marketing. Add bullet points describing the benefits of giver marketing. Include a call to action for a free strategy session. Then I just put in giver marketing network as some context. We can change the creativity, tone of voice. Tone of voice is really fun because you can do all different kinds of feeling and test them out differently. And we're just going to hit generate text. And
again, this has a 3,000 word text limit. Some of the other tools that I'm going to introduce you to have different text limits, but this is pretty good. So what it came up with in just that amount of time was, let's talk about how giver marketing can help your small business. That's the subject line for your email. I hope this message finds you well. My name is, I'm the founder of, we specialize in helping small businesses. Giver marketing is a powerful way to create relationships with your customers and build loyalty. Here's the benefits of giver marketing if you're interested. And there you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this document and export it as a PDF just in case anybody wants it. There we go. So that's how you can quickly create multiple kinds of things in AI to help your marketing in your business.
So that's AiContentFly. And now let's get back to prompts. Prompts are really, really important. As I mentioned, a generative AI model can crank out anything. I mean, it can do poetry, images, code, websites, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of crazy what it can do. But the prompts are the key, the things that you put into it, which is why I went through the hassle of getting certified as a prompt engineer, because I wanted to know better how prompts would work. Now, if you'd like to see a really cool list of prompts, follow this lead. This will be in the notes section. Vidyard created some really fun prompts that I think there's 50 of them in this blog post that they made that I think you'll find very helpful. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's going to take too much time. Well, that just shows my certification. And then there are kind of 5 basic types of prompts that you can think of. There's a word prompt. That's where you're like asking it to do something. Okay. In this example, create me a recipe. A scenario prompt, which is really kind of cool because with a scenario prompt, you can get into some really details where you're creating a scenario. You're creating, kind of think of it as painting a visual picture of the information that you want. So you say to the AI, imagine I'm a marketer and I'm selling widgets for XYZ company, and I need to know how I can get my consumer, who is a 45-year-old male who golfs, to find my widget. I don't know. I just made all that up on the top of my head. Pretty bad example, but okay, that's a scenario prompt. Okay. An image prompt is where you say to the AI, create me an image of XYZ. Create me an image of an owl sitting on top of my car. Again, strange things pop into my head at times. A music prompt would be creating some kind of a composition in a particular thing, like in C major in the style of Mozart. And a dialogue prompt is really the most effective when you're training your AI and you're building out your things like in OpenAI and some of those models where you're creating your own prompts, because you're going back and forth with the AI and asking it to do something, seeing the results, and then continuing to talk to it about those results. So you'll build this long stream. And that's where ChatGPT and some of the other programs really excel, because they allow you to do really long dialogue prompts. And here's an example of creating some advanced prompts, I thought. Well, hang on a minute. Oh, that's right. It's down here. Excuse me for that. So this is another application that's in the group of things that you'll see as you click through to my website. This is a program I use called TextWriter that I really like. It comes as part of Human Pal, but take a look at this.
So I thought I'd show you real quick another one of my kind of fun tools that I like, because this will do some kind of extra stuff that most won't, and I will include the link for this inside. This is a combination of 2 tools, a text writer, chatbot, and a text-to-speech human talk application. It'll spin content, it'll do all kinds of things. But from the content prompt, which is where we start with most things, and that's what I wanted to show you, is You want some information about something. Let's say I want to write about, what should we write about? See, I have and here, I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay. So I created, again, our time travel traffic example. I have a product called Time Travel Traffic that captures all the smartphones at a specific location, then delivers digital display ads to those phones wherever they are today and in the future. So what I'm going to do is click this button here that says Advanced Prompt, and then I'm going to hit Submit. And what the system is doing is taking what I wrote and converting it into a more detailed prompt to try to get a better response from this particular model. So creating a marketing campaign for time travel traffic, create a marketing campaign for time travel traffic, highlighting the unique benefits and results it can deliver to businesses. Explore how this tool can help businesses precisely target their ads to relevant audiences in a cost-effective manner. Provide examples of successful campaigns that have utilized this technology and the positive impact it had on their ROI. Use persuasive language and clear visual aids to make a compelling case for why businesses should adopt this tool. Kind of love it. Okay, now if I didn't like it, I could hit resubmit and it would create a new one, but I like it, so I'm going to go to next. Now it's just writing the content, and you can see how fast it's writing it. It's just cranking it out. Okay. We'll give it a minute to let it finish doing its thing here. One of the things that I like about this was created by a marketing guru, and the results come back in a marketing format and based in a way that has some proven marketing techniques in the model as it was developed. So I'm actually going to download this text because I like it, and I'm going to use it later. And then so we'll go up here to the top. Introducing Time Travel Traffic. The innovative solution allows businesses to reach their target audience at the right time in the right place. This powerful tool uses predictive analytics and big data to enable the business to precisely target their ads to a relevant audience, leading to increasing engagement and conversions. Here's what it could do for your business: reach the right people at the right time, cost-effective advertising, advanced predictive analysis, accurate targeting, blah, 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 blah. It is really, really good. Time Travel Track is an innovative solution that can help businesses maximize their advertising budget. So what I would do now is take the information I either copied to clipboard or downloaded, tweak it a little bit, see if I liked it. If I did, I would, move on. And if you're interested in what you could do next in this mode, where you can actually turn this into text that a model, AI model can be reading for you in a video, you could do that too. So we'll talk about that later.
So that's an example of an advanced text writer. Now let's just chat for a minute. Now that we know the kind of things that we can do with AI, that there's all these different applications, like AiContentFly has, excuse me, AiContentFly has over 35 different kind of ways that you can use it, that you can kind of expand on. What's the risk? Well, the risk is that ChatGPT-3 was trained on information up till, I believe, the end of 2021. So the data that was put into that pre-trained model was only information up until 2021. So it isn't what we call auto-generative, and it isn't pulling information on what is happening today on the internet. The next issue that could be is that the data sets can be trained poorly. In other words, the person putting that model in might have biases. They might put in information that is biased to a particular political or religious or even a hate model, so that the results can come out skewed towards that particular person's bias. Also, there's hallucinations, and if you're back in the 60s, no, it's not the same thing. You're not having a flashback, but the hallucinations, as they call them here in an AI model, is that the AI will create things because it's just trying to make up information, but it doesn't really have really good information. So it kind of creates stuff. If you get over about 3,000 words, that's when hallucinations get really bad. And that's why some of the models that are pre-trained keep the initial output to around 3,000 words, because somewhere after that, the AI starts to go a little wonky. So at least as of the time of this writing, I'm sure they're going to get better at that. And then the auto-generative AIs are going to have a different response to that, but that isn't mainstream yet. And then the last risk is bias, and I kind of mentioned that before, is that there's a total bias on what information goes in and what information comes out. Now, the great benefits of all of this for you as a marketer is that you can create marketing materials really fast. I actually wrote a book in one day using AI. Now, I wrote it, I put it all together, and then I set it aside for a little while, then came back and looked at it and went, okay, there's some more stuff I need to tweak it. So I probably got another day or two that I want to go in and tweak the material so that it's more my flavor and not the AI's flavor, and I you know, so it sounds more like me, and it has the emotion that I'm trying to put into it. But hey, in the past that I've tried to do that, the other books that I've written have taken me anywhere between 3 weeks and 2 or 3 months. So it depends on what I was writing. So insanely great first start. Another cool feature is that you can get chat bots, that is the thing that's on your website, that's intuitive to your website. In other words, you can have a chat bot that sits on your website and learns your particular website, so that when somebody says, how much do you charge for a particular product, that bot actually has been trained on what's in your specific website and can pull up information that is relevant, like, you know, well, our normal fees are blah, 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 and this is what we do, and this is, and it can be amazingly. I know I've used it, and it is crazy how good it can be. Now, the first time I used it, it was terrible. It was pulling information up from other people's websites and putting it on mine. Then after I trained it, it got really good. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll hook you up with some places to do that. It's not inexpensive. The other good thing about AI is that you can segment your communication to your leads, your prospects, your clients really easy. So you can have really different emails and blog posts and different information that's geared specifically to that niche, that avatar that you're communicating with. And finally, you can save a lot of money. I mean, you can save money on time, you can save money on tools, and a lot of the other things that you're already using, you might be able to just really minimize. So I think there's some great benefits of using AI. So what's next? Well, I'm going to give you a copy of this presentation, and if you go to the notes, you'll see links in here that you can use that I'm just giving you. This is the prompts from Vidyard. This is my affiliate link for AiContentFly, and this is a link to my website where you're going to get even more information. You can log in, get a free training session with me. You can get a bunch more information on different AI models. There's a whole program full of information you get for free as part of this. That's, you know, about a $500 value just by clicking on that link and opting in and doing a few things in there. And get to sit and chat with me for a while. Let's see how we can put AI to use for you. So go over here to patricksmith.com/giver marketing. You can watch a little info there, put in your name, your information, hit submit, and let's see what we can do. I want to thank you for giving me a minute to chat. If you're interested in this course for yourself, having a copy of all of this with the notes and everything else, well, I'll put a link in the chat for the Giver Marketing presentation that I'm doing. You can come in and keep a copy of this for yourself, and then just go in here and click the links if you want more information under the notes. If you're interested in this tool, my Strategic Growth Maps tool that I've recorded this on, let me know. This is a proprietary system that I own called Strategic Growth Maps that allows you to do everything from these kind of presentations to creating SOPs for your staff, for your processes, everything that you might want to do. So check it out, and we'll be in touch. See you later.